So again, let us close this here. Now going to March 8th. After March 8th, we have March 12th. March 12th, purchase 600 units at rupees 20 per unit. So let us go to the receipt column. 1000 March 12th. March 12th, purchase 600 units. So take it as 600 units at the rate of 20 per unit. So this will be 12,000 and no balance, no issues here. So therefore the balance available is, we have to take the previous balances. So therefore here 100 units at rupees 12 per unit amounting to 1200. The same balances are repeated here. 1200 units at rupees 15 amounting to 15,000, and then the new balance of 600 units at rupees 20 per unit amounting to 12,000. So these are the three different stocks available as of this date. Okay, now let us go to the next transaction. After March 12th, we have March 15th. March 15th issued 650 units. So March 15th issued 650 units. So let us check here. So we have to issue a total of 650 units here. Out of 650 units, we can issue 100 units. First of all, 100 units at the rate of say 12 rupees. So this will get exhausted, 1200 rupees, and then another balance of 1000 units are there here. So what we require is, the balance of this is 650 minus 100 is 550 here. So 550 units are to be issued out of this 1000 units at the rate of 15 rupees. So now 550, say 550 into 15. So this will be 8,250. 8,250. So this is the amount, the value of the stock issued. Now we have to write the balance. So this balance of 100 units is not there, and then out of 550, out of 1000 we have issued 550. So there is still a balance of how much, 450 units at the rate of rupees 15 per unit. So this 450 units at the rate of 15 rupees will be 15,000 minus 8,250. So that comes to 6,750. 6,750. Correct. 6,750 will be the balance available. And then there is another stock of 600 units here. So 600 units at the rate of 20 amounting to 12,000. So this is the balance available as on this date. Okay, and then after March 15th, next is March 20th, return to store from issue made on March 2nd, 100 units. So return to store from issue. So this is to be shown as a receipt here, because this is returned back by the production department. That means it is coming back to the production department here. So therefore this is on March 20th. March 20th, how many units? 100 units. March 20th, 100 units. We can just write it as return for our reference. So return what rate? The rate is to be referred with reference to the date of original issue. So it was originally issued as on March 2nd, and let us go back to the statement here. Say on March 2nd we had issued 200 units at the rate of 12 rupees. Out of these 200 units we have issued to the production department. They have returned back 100 units. So these 100 units are to be valued at the rate of the original issue of 12 rupees. So I will take it as 12 rupees. So therefore usually for return of any materials, no rate will be given, only the date originally it was issued will be given. We have to refer to that date, and that amount, that rate at which it was originally issued is to be taken as the return date, return rate. So now 100 into 12, so this comes to 1200. So this is the receipt here. So that is the only transaction on 20th. Okay, now let us go to the balance column here. The balance is, that is the previous balances are to be repeated here. So when we have return, so this should be treated as good as a new receipt here. So it will be as usual taken at the end. So so in the order here, 450 at the rate of 15 rupees, 6,750 rupees, and 600 units at the rate of 20 rupees. We have 12,000 worth of material, and then the new materials received as a return, 100 units at the rate of 12 rupees, amounting to 1,200 units. This is 12 here, so amounting to 1,200. So this is the balance of stock available as on this date, that is on March 20th. On March 20th. And then we have on March 24th. I'll continue here. On March 24th. On March 24th. Let us check. On March 24th, we have purchase of 300 units at the rate of rupees 25 per unit. So I'll take it as March 24th, purchase of 300 units. So we'll take it in the receipt column. In the receipt column, this is a quantity, rate and value. Again quantity, rate and value. Again quantity, rate and value here. So this is the receipt, then issues, and then the balance here. Okay, March 24th. So March 24th, as on March 24th, we have purchased 300 units at the rate of rupees 25 per unit. So this is receipt, 300 units at the rate of 24 rupees per unit. 300 units at the rate of 25 rupees per unit. So this will be 25 into 300 is 7,500 units. So this is the new receipt here. And then there is no issue as on that date. So we have to repeat the entire balances from the previous date here. So when you check the previous date, 450 units at the rate of 15 rupees. 450 units at the rate of 15 rupees. So this comes to 6,750. And then we have a balance of 600 units at the rate of 12,000. 600 units at the rate of 12 rupees, 7,200 rupees, and then 600 units at the rate of 20. 600 units at the rate of 20. So this is amounting to 12,000. And then we have another balance of 100 units at the rate of 12 rupees. 100 units at the rate of 12, amounting to 1,200. And these are the previous balances of the previous balances of the preceding date. Now we have to add the new balance of 300 units